try again. Let's see if they are not white. Hello and welcome to a new Sambaknits Podcast episode. I'm Beatriz, I'm the designer behind Sambaknits, and I come to you from Santiago de Chile. If you want, you can find me everywhere on the internet as Sambaknits, on Instagram, RAVELRY, on my website, etc. I'm Sambaknits everywhere. So yeah, it's been a while since I last came here. We went under lockdown again here in Santiago, and I think it began around mid-March somewhere, and it ended like last week or maybe the week before, I'm not sure. We are still staying home, and so there's pretty much nothing has changed like big time, but now we can go out without having to get permission, like an authorization from the police website to go on the street. But yes, so my husband went back to work. He was working from home, and that's why one of the reasons why I haven't recorded in so long was because he was here and he was on meetings all day, speaking on the phone. It's a tiny apartment, so there was not as much silence as I needed to concentrate and to get the camera out, and also, I don't know, I feel a bit self-conscious to record when he's around. So yeah, that's why we had this other big hiatus on the podcast. But now I'm back, and I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna record every 2 weeks or every month, because I really don't like promising something and then not following through. So I'm gonna try to record as much as I can, because I really missed coming here to chat with you guys. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable saying that I will record every, I don't know, X time and then not be able to keep up with my promise. So yes, that's, yeah, I will record when I can, and I hope that's okay with you. But yes, I have many things to show you, but as you can imagine, I cannot show all of them, because otherwise this would be a too long podcast, like a 3 hours long, and so I think it's best if I chose some things that I think might interest you more today. So I'm gonna start with what I'm wearing. This is the Bracuhy top. It's my latest sweater top. I would call this a sweater. Maybe someone would call this a t-shirt, or not a t-shirt, but a tee. Anyways, it's named after the neighborhood and marina of Bracuhy in Brazil, close to Angra dos Reis. Bracuhy, my best friend, her family used to have a house there, and we used to go quite very often and play on the. They have a lot of islands, so we would take the boat and just explore the region with her family, and it was very fun. I have a lot of good memories from our childhood there. So and I don't know, I think the blue shade with the lace remind me more of a water feeling type. I don't know. So I thought I should name it Bracuhy. Yes, in honor of those memories. But yes, this is a bottom-up drop shoulder sweater. Worked in round in a fingering weight. I use I got yarn support from Miss Babs, and this is their I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I think it's like some Tarte base. It's Merino, Nylon, and Tencel. Tencel, I think, is a type of rayon. If I'm not, I think the other word is rayon, and it's very light. How to say? A very light yarn, so it's good for summer knits and anything that doesn't have to be too warm. And it was my first time working with this yarn, and I really enjoyed it. And I love Miss Babs colors. I think they are so gifted. I haven't yet seen one colorway from them that I did not like. So yes, I love that they have like these semi-solids that are soft, but still you can appreciate clearly the different tonalities on the color. I think this gives sort of like depth to the piece, especially when you work in stockinette stitch. This sort of like semi-solid gives more depth. It's not as flat as if you use a completely solid colorway. But yes, this is rock top down. No, I'm sorry, bottom up. It was my first time, and I was very proud of it. That I use. I'm not sure if you can see. Don't worry, I'm wearing something below. I'm not naked. This is a tubular cast on. And I really liked it. It really does give a very good finishing. So I use the long tail tubular cast on method, one by one, I think. And then also here I bound off in using the tubular bind off technique. I really like it. It's very comfortable to wear. It's not, especially here on the neck, on the collar, when you go through and you put your head through, it doesn't, it's not something like tight and that pulls on your head. It's just very comfortable. And yes, it has this lace panel here on the front, and the back is on stockinette. And I'm sorry for the chair sound, I need to put some oil on it. And what else? Yeah, the sleeves are like this sort of bracelet sleeves, and I just finished them with I-cord bind off. It was my first time working like sleeves like this. Usually I like to have large cuffs. I don't know if you're familiar with some of my sweater designs. I usually have like 2 inches or longer cuffs. But I decided to try something different, and I really liked binding off using this I-cord. So the sleeve is like hangs a little bit open here. We still have some spots for the test knit. The test knit started one or 2 weeks already, but it's like cropped. It's boxy, yes, but I think it's a fast knit because the lace repetition are just like a few rounds. So if you work 1 or 2, it's like, oh, I'm gonna just finish the lace, and just like 2 rows more to finish the lace repeat. So you just go. That's what at least what happens with me when the pattern has like a too many rounds repeat or something. It feels longer for me. But when they're broken into small bits, I think it goes faster, because like it's a trick for our minds, I would say. But yeah, so we still have some spots, and the deadline is July 31st. But the spots that we still have are for the larger sizes, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm not sure, I don't remember now exactly the chest circumference, but all my patterns, they go from usually to fit in a 32 inch bust until at least a 60 inch bust. So the size 9 would probably be for 62 inch bust plus the positive ease, because this sweater calls for, I think it was like 8 inches of positive ease, if I'm not mistaken, or 8-12 or something, I don't know, but if you're interested, if you like that, and if you want to more information about the test or about the sweater, just write me and I can give you the link to the RAVELRY thread, or you can also test by email if you don't use RAVELRY. I make the bridge between the RAVELRY thread and email, and whoever's not on RAVELRY, they just like to test by email as well. So yeah, this is the Bracuhy. It's fingering weight, I think I mentioned it before, and yeah, I really like it. Here in Santiago it's already fall, so the days are getting a little bit, the days are still okay to wear something like this, but at night it's getting cold. So yeah, the last a few days to wear more like a light knit, but yes. So yeah, I hope you like this, and I hope you join the test. The other pattern that I wanted to talk to you about today is the Nina Shawl. I think I showed you this before on the last episode, maybe the one before, when we were just placing the test knit, I think. This is a sport weight shawl, like a heavy sport weight, I would say. And it's going to go live today. Yeah, so if you're watching this, it's probably already live. It's an asymmetric shawl, and it's worked sideways, starting from one tip until the other side. In these two colors. This yarn is from Lanabel, is a yarn brand. I have talked about Lanabel a lot here. I really like their yarn, and they have a store very super close to my house. So I go there and I buy things. But yeah, so it's all in garter stitch and asymmetric. This is their green, that's in Spanish called verde. I'm sorry. I don't know now how to pronounce it. Because I keep thinking of how to pronounce it in Portuguese, my god. Let's say verde in Portuguese, but verde. I'm sorry. Yeah, verde, 33. And the other one is what they would say crudo, that means something like raw or bare, or number 15. I will list this below. And yeah, so it's worked sideways on this garter stitch, on this squishy garter stitch, and then you stripe it, and I have a big lace here, a lace section here, and then more stripes, and a picot bind off. These are very fun. I'm back. The neighbor started, I don't know, drilling something. I don't know if it was episode number 1 or 2, podcasts in English, that they started drilling something so loud that I got super scared and it startled me and I had to stop again. But yeah, they're still drilling something. They're not having work done. Again. Let's try again. Let's see. Let's continue. So yeah, this is the Nina shawl. It's asymmetric, sport weight, and I used a little bit less than 300 meters of each color. So it would be less than 330 yards of each color. And I used a 4mm needle. I don't know, I think that's US 6 if I'm not, no, yeah, US 6. And yeah, this will go live on RAVELRY, on PayHip and Lovecraft today. And if you want, you can get 25% off with the code NINA25, NINA25, 2 and 5 in numbers, on Lovecraft, on RAVELRY and PayHip, not on Lovecraft. You just insert the coupon code and you get 25% off. It's a very fun knit. I got lots of questions and a lot of comments on this shawl. I really love working asymmetric shawls. I think that they go very fast and they are, I don't know, they have something that I think if one can have a favorite shape of shawl, I would say this one is definitely one of the shapes that I like most to work with. So yeah, the Nina shawl. Watch out for it, it's going to go live today. And the last thing I have to show you today is this wrap that I'm going to place a testing call in the next few days. It's a lace weight wrap, and you can see here I only work at half of it because it's work in two identical pieces, so I just work half, and I'm going to work the second half during the test with the testers. So it's a very simple eyelet pattern here in this section, and then you have delicate lace and with a slightly chevroned edging here. It started from the middle. This is a provisional cast on, and you work outside towards the outside of the wrap, and it's going to be not a fast test. I usually like to give like a large time frame for people to test, because people have their lives and they cannot knit all day, even though I know many of you wish you could, and I wish I could knit more than I do as well, and I work with this. But yeah, so I think the deadline is gonna be around July 10th or 15th or something like that. And but yes, this is only half of the wrap, and like 6-7 weeks to knit like 400-500 yards. I think it's quite comfortable, quite accommodating, I would say. It's not something fast, and if you can finish the whole wrap by then, you get an extra thank you from me. I'm gonna place a testing call on my Instagram and also on RAVELRY, and as well as the one from Bracuhy. You can test on a RAVELRY thread or by email if you don't use RAVELRY. I'm gonna need 10 testers, more or less. I think, yeah, 10 spots, I think it's okay. It's not, it's just one size. It's not something that has many sizes. So, and this is a lace weight yarn, also from Miss Babs. This one is their yearning base. It's silk and I think it's silk and merino. I'm not sure now if they have silk. No, yeah, I think it's silk. I should have written that. I have some notes today, but this I forgot to write down. Yeah, but so I estimated the full wrap is going to be around 900, 1,000 yards. But as usual, you can make it longer if you wish. You can make it shorter, and you just have to test half the wrap because the other half is exactly the same. So it's just like when you test socks, you just have to make one of both because the other one is usually similar, identical. I mean, but yes, and this colorway is called All That Glitters, and it has slight speckles. I don't know if you can see. I love it. It's so delicate. I'm still thinking of the name for this wrap. I have some already in my head, but I still haven't decided 100% on the name. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear it as well. But yes, what else I have to share with you today? Yes, I don't know if you remember, but a while ago I started a weekend knit. I had to work on somebody else's pattern on weekends, and it was very much fun, but I had to stop because life gets in the way, and sometimes I had a lot of work and I wanted to get it done, and I really love what I do. So I love working on my patterns, I love writing patterns, I love sketching, swatching, and everything about knitting, design knitting wear. But yeah, so now I think I have to, not I have to, but I want to pick this up again this weekend projects that I have to work on some other designers' projects, and I decided I'm going to make the Penguono from Stephen West. It's funny because the first time I saw the Penguono, it didn't. I thought it was too, I don't know, out there, too colorful, too. And then some podcasters from Spain and from the how to say that, they speak from Spanish-speaking podcast. They made a few penguonos. They had something like a cow or something of their own, and I completely fell in love with the Penguono. It's I'm sorry. It's so colorful. It's so unusual. The construction. It's like all Stephen West patterns. It's so different and out of the box, and I don't know the words in English. It's in Spanish would be, in Portuguese would be something like inusitado, like unexpected. that I completely fell in love with it. I cannot think of anything else. I don't think of what can I cast on my Penguono. So yeah, I'm gonna cast on this weekend the Penguono, and if anyone has ever needed a Penguono and would, I don't know, like to offer me some tip or recommendations, I already got the pattern, and I think I'm gonna work size, I think it's size 2. The pattern is divided in how to say that, the sizes are divided according to gauge and yarn weight. So I think I'm gonna make the DK weight, and yeah, because it's supposed to be super oversized and a great project to use leftover yarn, and I have lots of those, and I really hate having leftover yarn. I usually on my patterns I try to use everything to the very last yarn, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to casting it on. So if you want to join me and make also your own Penguono, write me and we have a small cow. But yeah, that's my upcoming knit, my upcoming weekend knit that I'm very much looking forward to it. And yes, the last thing, this Saturday I'm going to have I'm going to teach a Zoom class of shawl construction, shawl typology and construction. It's going to be on what time? It's I think 9 a.m. Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. You can find information on my website. I'm gonna have this class in Portuguese and in English. I have already taught this class a couple of weeks ago on a super fun virtual workshop we had in Brazil. It was the first virtual workshop that we had there, and I was invited to teach a class, and I developed this class, and it was super fun. I loved it so much. And all the students, all the participants, they were very happy with it as well, and so I decided to offer it again. It was the Tricopedia Festival, the festival that happened. And it was a super fun week. We had lots of we had, I think it was 5 workshops and lives with how to say, dyers and people from the fiber arts and store owners and stuff. I don't know if you can hear this is Cachupina scratching something. But anyways, yeah, so I'm offering the class again, and if you're interested, we have this weekend still some spots for Saturday. We have the class in English and in Portuguese, and also we are gonna have another the same class on the 26th of June. Yes, also in English and in Portuguese. You can find more information about the class on my website under the teaching segment of the website, and yeah, and if you have interest, I'm going to teach you how to write, how to construct and the different typologies of shawls. I think it's going to be a very fun class. It was a very fun class, and I think it's going to be very fun again. I'm very much looking forward to it. And yes, if you're interested, write me. If you want to participate in any of the tests that I showed, or if you have any questions, patterns, or if you want to knit the Penguono with me, just write me. I love chatting with you guys, and I really missed coming here. So yeah, I hope I can see you soon. And yeah, have a great week and lots of fun knits. And that's it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Bye! I completely forgot, I have a newsletter now, and if you want to stay updated with my pattern releases, get new discounts, or I don't know, news of my upcoming workshops and everything, you can subscribe to my newsletter on my website, www.sambaknits.com, and when you go, it's going to open pop-up box, and you can put your email there. And if not, if for some reason it doesn't open, you can go on the bottom of the website, and click on newsletter, and it's going to open there, and you can put your email address, and you get my newsletter on your inbox to stay updated with what I'm doing, what I'm up to, test knit calls, new workshops, new patterns, everything. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel already, please do so. Like this video, follow me on Instagram, and I love to hear from you guys and know a little bit more about you too. So please leave me a message here, or I don't know, just send me whatever you wanna tell me about your knitting. I would love to hear more from you too. Okay, that's it. I think now I have said everything I have to say, and yeah, it was very nice coming here again. I hope I can come back soon. Yeah, that's it. Bye.